Welcome back to Here to Stay TV, brought to you by Bridge Street Global Hospitality. I'm with Piers Brown, CEO of Service Apartment News, and I'm no expert yet in service apartments. I'm trying to be, but this guy over here knows absolutely everything. So Piers, how have things changed in the universe of service apartments over the last few years? Because I'm sensing a lot is happening.
Yeah, accommodation is really speeding up. Travelers got a lot more choice. There's so much transparency out there. Lots of people are differentiating their offering to catch, the traveler during their journey. A lot more capital coming into the marketplace. Interesting that some hotel brands have bought into the service department sector. I'm expecting that to continue.
I think that's going to continue because it makes a lot of sense, right? We keep hearing about the disruptors out there, companies like Airbnb, but we haven't heard enough about the service apartment sector. Now, I've been on the road doing speaking events around the United States and other places in the world and saying this is a sector we have to look out for. And it's interesting to watch it mature. You had just said, Piers, that you're starting to see different divisions within it. It's kind of the same thing that happened in the hotel industry. It used to be a one-size-fits-all approach. Then we started creating more niche products to appeal to different price points and desires, right? And that is exactly what you're seeing now.
Yeah, example of that is maybe last week, Airbnb purchased luxury retreats. Airbnb is obviously, a big company now, but it's done, the sector, I feel, a lot of good in highlighting, the alternative to a hotel stay, and people feeling empowered to make a choice, maybe a direct choice, and ultimately, work with the sector.
Right, and it's kind of like not just the Airbnb product, which could sometimes be a little bit confusing for the user in terms of getting your keys and not necessarily having a complete understanding of what you're going to get ahead of time. But the service department business seems to have all of that figured out. It's pretty much guaranteed. You can have a level of trust that you don't have in other areas, and I think that's one thing that's getting people most excited about the sector.
Yeah, definitely, I'd agree, and of course what Bridge Street has launched here is so exciting. You've got Wyndham Vacation Rentals, really pushing consistency of product, security, etc. And it's just going to continue, I think.
So you think that the major hotel brands are going to really start to catch on to this and add service apartments in the future? Right now they seem to be all caught up with millennials, but I think that this is going to be the next big thing to take the extended stay segment even deeper.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of, you could argue there's too many brands out there in the hotel space.
Right.
And I think a challenge the service department sector has got is to drive awareness maybe through effective branding, messaging, etc.
Right, and I think that's something like the Association of Service Apartment Providers does a great job. They're known as ASOP, and they're really the voice of the community out there, helping to, I think, unify everybody with that single type of message. And sites like bleisure.com, which now acts as a clearinghouse for all of this product, I think is going to help with consumer awareness and understanding. Do you see it that way, or maybe a little different?
Yeah, based on what I know of the Bridge Street product, I think the key for me is it gives increased transparency and choice. It's a distribution game these days, and that's what the Bridge Street platform offers.
Right. Now, you had mentioned that real estate component. I want to talk about that because owners and developers out there are looking to maximize existing, buildings that they have out there. So this seems to me to be an interesting way to supplement full-time people with, short-term, extended stay type stays.
Yeah, if you look at maybe the projections for urban living, in cities, they are off the roof, and space is becoming increasingly expensive. So there are a lot of developers looking at a mixed use component, because they're all chasing yield. So, lots of the key cities are going to have mixed use component, which could have a bit of retail in, co-working space, service departments, branded residences, that type of option, I think.
That's another thing that's taking off, is that co-working space is absolutely believable. But we'll talk about that another day, because that's not really what our conversation is here about. But one thing that I like that BridgeStreet.com is doing is they understand the idea of mixing work with leisure. They call it bleisure, and the whole idea of being part of the community. And I feel like the service department sector seems to really understand that a lot more clearly than some of the hotel brands out there.
Yeah, I think the key from a service department perspective is flexibility. And, particularly the sweet spot of maybe an SMEs, they love service departments. And more people are, mixing business with leisure, making sure they do their work, of course,
Right.
but having a bit of fun as well. Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's about balance and understanding, and service departments are really fascinating in meeting, I think, all of the customers' needs. Any other points that you think are really important for us to explain to our audience?
Yeah, I'd say the capital flows coming into the sector that we've seen over the last year or so. I'm hosting the Service Department Summit in New York in April, which will have a lot of investors there.
That's April 10th and 11th in Manhattan.
That's it. Totally committed to the growth of the space, and look forward to welcoming everybody to the event.
Excellent. Well, make sure you go to the event. What is the website that they could find the event and sign up?
ServiceDepartmentSummitAmericas.com.
All right. Service Department Summit Americas.com. I will see you there. I'm Glenn Haussman for Here to Stay TV. Thanks for watching.